Good morning, dear students. Welcome to continue part of our Constitution. Yes, in the last class, I have taught you about the Indian Constituent Assembly. Yes, and the framing of the Indian Constitution, and also I have explained preamble to the Constitution. Yes, and also we have discussed about the salient features of our Indian Constitution. So in this class, I am going to explain about the fundamental rights and duties. Yes. So let's see what is fundamental rights. Yes. So fundamental rights, it provides the social and political atmosphere necessary for the development of the personality of citizen. Yes. So that is what is rights. So rights, it provides by a state. Yes, to for the development of a personality of citizen. So that's called rights, and they are required for a person to lead a civilized life in society. Yes, so if we want to civilize life in society, so we have some rights. Yes, and they are also essential for the success of a democracy. Yes, and there were 7 fundamental rights that are mentioned in third part of our constitution. Yes, so there were 7 fundamental rights, and these all rights are mentioned in the third part of our Indian constitution. Yes, so however, after the 44th amendment, the right to property has been abolished. Yes, and now there are 6 fundamental rights at present. Yes, so the 7th right, that is the property right, it has been declined. Yes, and therefore now there are 6 fundamental rights in our constitution. So let's see which are they. Okay, so first one is right to equality. Yes, next one is right to freedom, and next right against exploitation, and next right to freedom for freedom of religion, next cultural and educational rights, and last one is right to constitutional remedies. So let's discuss each one. Okay, so first one is right to equality. Yes, so what is equality? Yes, that is equality means we are getting a same opportunity. Yes, for example, in the school, the boys and girls are getting same education. Yes, so there is no partiality. Yes, so there is no inequality. That is known as equality. So let's say right to equality. Yes, so this right is very essential for the success of democracy. Yes, and under this right, all citizens are equal socially and economically before the law. Yes, no one is higher before the law. Yes, every citizen, they are same. Yes, before the law, and all are equal before the law, and nobody is above the law. That is, we are all equal. Yes, and all should get equal protection of the law. Yes, and none should be discriminated against on the basis of their caste, religion, gender, or place of birth. Yes, so this is the right to equality. Yes, and no citizen should be subjected to any restrictions with regard to access to shops and public restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, or public places of worship. Yes, so according to the right to equality, we can move everywhere. Yes, so where for example, shops and public restaurants and hotels, and there are so many public entertainment places are there. Yes, we can move any places. Yes, and also under this right, untouchability is an offense. Yes, during ancient times there is a untouchability practice in our India, but according to this right, so untouchability is an offense, and this right had enabled every citizen to get an equal opportunity to join government services. So that is, even poor man or the rich man, they can also a right to get a government job. Yes, so that's because right to equality. Yes, so let's see next one, right to freedom. Yes, so what is freedom? Yes, freedom means free. Yes, so let's see. So it is one of the important fundamental rights. Yes, and under this right, one who expresses his own opinion, to conduct meeting without arms, and to establish organizations, and to live anywhere in India, and to follow any profession and move around the country. Yes, so according to right to freedom, so one can conduct meeting without arms, that is without weapons, and also he has right to establish any organization, and also he can live anywhere in India, also follow any profession and move around the country. Yes, but anti-nation activities are prohibited. Yes, so we have rights, so we can product bombs, guns, so that's not allowed according to this right. Okay, and it is protective right also, and no one can be arrested without proper reason. Yes, and no state law can snatch the life and freedom of a citizen. That is, every citizen has a right to life. So next one is right against exploitation. Yes, so let's see. The aim of this right is to prevent exploitation of women, children, the poor, and the weak peoples. Yes, for example, there are so many children, women are working in the so many small scale industries. Yes, so their aim is so stopping the exploitation of these peoples. Yes, and begging and the Devdasi system, and the practice of sati and immoral activities and forced labor have been prohibited. Yes, so there are so many beggars, and Devdasi system is there. Yes, and the practice of sati system and immoral activities and the labor, that is forced labor. Yes, these all activities have been prohibited according to this right. And what is the child labor? Yes, so children who are under 14 years age, they are working in mining industries and other dangerous occupations, so they are known as child labor, and this occupations is punishable under this law. Yes, so next one is right to freedom of religion. Yes, so as we know, India is a secular country. Yes, and no religion has been given the status of national religion. Yes, because different types of religions we are practicing, and so many religions are we have. Yes, and that's why citizens can accept any religion that their conscience dictates, and practice it and propagate it, and no one can be found to pay taxes for the management of religious institutions. Yes, and use of religious places for political and other activities has been prohibited in the country. Yes, so next one is cultural and educational rights. Yes, so all citizens of the country have their own language and script and culture. Yes, for example, our Kannada has our Kannada script, and our mother tongue is Kannada. Yes, and we have also our own culture, so we have to respect these all things, and it is the duty of the state to protect them. Yes, we have to protect our nature and culture also, and this right protects the interest of religious and linguistic minorities, and no one can be denied admission in government aided institution or institutions run by minorities. So next one is right to constitutional remedies. Yes, so these are the 6 rights. So last one is right to constitutional remedies. Yes, the constitution has not only given fundamental rights to the citizen of India but also guaranteed them under Article 32. Yes, our Indian Constitution, uh, they have given rights, but it has also guaranteed them under Article 32. Yes, and whenever the rights are violated either by a person or state government or central government, the citizen may appeal directly to the Supreme Court for their protection. Yes, if the rights are violated by the person, yes, so a common man can also appeal directly to the Supreme Court for the protection of his rights. And Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has called this right the heart and soul of the Constitution. That is Article 32. It is called by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar that the heart and soul of the Constitution. If any individual or the government at the center and the state appear to violate a person's right, so he has the right to approach the Supreme Court. Yes, and the Supreme Court is empowered to enforce the fundamental rights, hence it is called the protector of fundamental rights. And even the high courts have the power to pass the following writs under Article 226. So high court, so they have a power and they can pass the following writs. So which are that writs? Let's see. Okay, so Article 226, it describes about the writs. So first one is habeas corpus. So what is habeas corpus? Yes, so this is the order passed by Supreme Court or the High Court to produce a person within specified time frame is called habeas corpus. Yes, so a police officer, when he captured one person, so he has to show the person before 24 hours to the courts, and this protects the individual rights of person. Yes, next one is mandamus. Yes, so what is mandamus? When the legislature, executive or any other subordinate institution fail to perform certain duties or works, the Supreme Court or the High Courts orders them to perform these works. Yes, if there are any institution or any person, if they fail to perform their certain duties, so Supreme Court or the High Court, they order them to do work. Yes, and this order is called as mandamus. Yes, and but the order cannot be passed against private individual, governor or the president. Yes, next one is prohibition. Yes, so when a subordinate court passes a judgment beyond its jurisdiction or the judgment is against the sense of natural justice, the higher court pass order against such judgments. Yes, so there are so many courts. If the subordinate courts, he passes judgments beyond its jurisdiction, yes, and judgment is against the sense of natural justice, at the higher court it passes order against such judgments, and the order is called as prohibition. Yes, and this can be passed against the lower court by the higher court. Okay, next one is certiorari. Yes, so when the subordinate court pass judgments beyond their jurisdiction or against the sense of natural justice, the higher orders the submission of records related to the judgment to it, and this order is called as certiorari. Next one is quo warranto. Yes, quo warrant. Yes, the order directing the right person to occupy the right public office is called quo warranto. Yes, and the order is passed against person who hold public office illegally by the higher courts. Yes, so this is called as a quo warranto. Next one is PIL. What is PIL? That is public interest litigation. Yes, so it can be filed in courts in order to protect the social rights denied to citizen and to protect public interest. Yes, and the public interest litigation can be filed for the purpose of protecting legal rights and rights that are essential to protect life and to protect environmental from being polluted. Yes, and this public interest litigation can be filed by individuals and social institutions, and in recent years we see that courts on their own are filing such public interest litigation when situation arises. So this is a public interest litigation. Okay, so this is all about fundamental rights. Okay, so in the next class I will explain about the fundamental duties, and I hope all of you are understanding this. Thank you for watching video.